Hello everybody, I'm back with another video for you today, and of course, with all the changes we got to Nilfgaard with this patch, we've also got some changes to Skellige, as well as, of course, all of the other factions as well. But today I wanted to try Arnjolf out. I did exactly that. He has been buffed up to an 11 strength unit when you play him, instead of course, what was he before? 9, I believe. So we got kind of 2-point buff, making him a kind of 8-point play with the Sirens. And of course, all of that synergy with the Bloodthirst and other cards that he already had. Bran did get nerfed, Svalblood got buffed, and so did Harold. So there should be a bit more variety in the Skellige leaders. I don't know that Arnjolf will be the best of the bunch. In fact, he probably won't be, but I figured it's a good time to try him outright and, you know, play him while the meta is fresh and developing and whatnot. So this is the deck I've got. It's not completely refined. You can definitely tweak some stuff. Maybe the burner discard package that we've got here isn't quite right. The Shield Maiden Priest package as well might not be, but I've been having fun with them and finding them quite okay. So, you know, it depends if you want them or not. You can maybe cut them. Anyway, what do we have? Well, we have Olaf, Canute, main kind of good couple of cards there. We also have the finishers, which go very well with Arnjolf, being Svanrige, Gregoire still pretty good, and Donar, of course. Jenge potentially as well. You need the damage guys for a lock. I did have Longships in this deck before to make sure we could enable Ravagers more easily, as well as the other Bloodthirst cards, but I took them out in favour of the Shield Maiden and Priest. Priest is just a pretty good engine, and since you're already going quite tall in strength, doesn't really matter if you have those guys getting up to, you know, 10 or plus, you know, whatever strength in round 1, or later on you may be tanking tool removal that can help your other guys for later. We have some tool removal, kind of Cleaver and Ulfheden working to do that. No Geralt or whatever, but it's pretty fine. We also have Harold, works pretty damn well with the Priests. So does the Totem, and of course all that synergy with Olaf, as per usual, as you have in a lot of Skellige decks typically. And yeah, apart from that, we've got kind of this bit of a weird Bronze Claw, only one Skirmisher with that Morkvarg for burner. I'm not sure if that's working very well. You could definitely swap it out. Marauder as well, similar story. Shield Maidens are quite okay. You can proc them in multiple ways. You know, the Priest, Butcher, they did get buffed down to 5 provisions. So I think they're okay now. I think they're pretty worth considering in a lot of decks, especially if you are running Priest or other damaging tools, like Svalblood or whatever. But yeah, this is the deck. Pretty straightforward stuff, of course. Arnjolf and then big finisher card value on top of maybe Priests and other things in earlier rounds, bit of thinning and whatnot in that round 1 and all the rest. So quite a decent deck. Had a long day of streaming this, and it was pretty decent for me. As I said, maybe not the best Skellige deck, nor will be in the future, but we'll see about that. Anyway, let's jump into a game or two and see how this one plays. Alright, we're going to be up against the Morvran, so it should be a bit of a soldier action, I guess. I forgot to mention that we have Lacerate in this deck as well, by the way. There's a bit of kind of row punish, and, you know, synergizing with Arnjolf and his little sirens that spawn. Anyway, we've got Burner, we've got Morkvarg and Skirmisher, so that's really, really nice. We also have this Shield Maiden and Priest combo that we can throw out round 1. I'm pretty damn happy with this hand. We could even mulligan good cards here, but I'm fine with this. Looks pretty good to me, especially on red coin. We can abuse the tempo a little bit, maybe. We don't have Cleaver or anything, but, you know, should be good enough, I imagine. Harold with the Priest as well is very nice if we want to go with that. In fact, we could open with that maybe, although, of course, getting Shield Maiden out is maybe a priority. I think Harold is fine here. Bit awkward since we're not going to get any Butcher value on those skulls or whatever, but yeah, we'll get it. We'll get the points elsewhere, maybe we can mulligan Butchers later on or whatever. Should be totally fine. We can maybe even draw into them with Burner. Of course, Harold can trigger our Shield Maiden if it's not answered, and then they're going to require quite a bit of removal to deal with all of these, you know, threats, quote unquote. Not going to get us the most points ever, but you know, gonna do stuff nevertheless. Let's probably lock this. I don't think there should be much more to lock in Nilfgaard, so we'll wait a little bit on our engines, I think, and just get that Jenge out, or even Gregoire. The fact that it hit this, yeah, makes a really good Gregoire target. I think we take it. This will give us some real, like, pushing power, you know, in this round. 10 points up, effectively, with more potential on board. And there's an Imperial Enforcer. Which, well, we're going to go for the lock, I guess, on that. Not going to get it, unfortunately. But we can play the Priest now and, you know, hit the Shield Maiden or whatever. Maybe I should have played it this side, but I think it's totally fine. Might miss out on a point or two, I guess, technically, but... Not damaging that guy is a bit annoying, because of course we wanted to get Jenge maybe onto the Enforcer, but there's still opportunity to maybe do that later with Burner, and if not, then they're just going to get some points here. It won't be the end of the world, it's one engine compared to our one engine, right? Okay, 2 engines now, fair enough. That's, yeah, somewhat intimidating. Let's go with the Shield Maidens now, thin them out before we go with Burner. We're still ahead, so that's pretty nice. By, in fact, quite a considerable amount. Pikemen are coming down, and this priest has enabled our Jenge, so we could, you know, deactivate Alba Pikemen. I think we do that, to be honest. Although, you know, Jenge might be useful later if we're scared of Enforcer or Rainfarn or whatever. So, you know what? I think I'm actually going to keep him around for later in the game. Let's go with Burner instead. See what options we have. Discard those cards. And, I mean, we're so far ahead in points. This is looking pretty good. If they can't get ahead in this one play here, which, you know, requires a lot of points, then we're probably fine to just take a pass. Ooh, here comes a big tempo play though. Joachim. Yeah, into a pretty crappy bronze engine. From the Roderick as well, that's pretty mad thinning. I think we're looking okay to just take a pass now, unless we want to kind of continue to pressure, but they now have the engine advantage, you know, by quite a large amount. And in fact, they're going to go with 1 buff from the Morvan. Okay, that does get them ahead. Nice play. In that case, we can probably keep playing. We can maybe play Brawler. Jenge is no longer active, so we'll go with a Brawler. And maybe just kind of getting a little bit more from them. Hopefully some good cards or whatever. Before we take the inevitable pass. Which, you know, I imagine we'll do in a second. I don't know, maybe going Jenge would have been better. It would have locked the round up a little bit more. But it is what it is. I suppose we can go Marauder here and just hope that we hit good targets. If we don't, we're going to have to play a good card, I guess, or a decent-ish card like Olaf. Not the best Marauder hits, but getting rid of a bad card and winning the round if they choose to give it up, which they don't. You know, we're trading a bronze for bronze. Pretty good trade for us. I think now we can take the pass. It's a little bit scary, kind of the finishes they can output with Morvan, but I don't want to commit these cards. There's not much hope of us winning the round now without committing a leader, which I don't think can be a good idea. Morvan, of course, is able to split his boost. We can't do that. So we did get some of his value, leader value there, which is nice. Priest, Butcher, not the best bronzes. Let's get rid of Butcher, and then, again, yeah, Priest, Brawler. One of those can probably go. Yes, Priest is probably slightly worse. Dry Pass most likely going to come in, I guess, from the Morvan, and then yeah, we'll see where to go from there. Cleaver's looking good. I don't know, hand's pretty strong. We just need a couple more goals maybe, and then win. Perfect hand territory, which is where you want to be for round 3, of course. And we'll see what happens. Butcher, not really ideal. Donar's good. Lacerate's also pretty nice. Let's get rid of the Butcher, and again the Butcher. And Canute is a good pickup for the Olaf if he survives, definitely. Not too bad. We are safe from a Cleaver play if we start with our Olaf, so I think we're going to go with that. If we're scared of the Cleaver value, it's not going to be there on Olaf, because of course 7 damage, yeah, not quite enough. We'll go with that, we'll play on the back row to avoid Alba Pikeman. And Lacerate will be pretty juicy with Arnjolf. The later we save him, the more value we get from it, hopefully. Cleaver will be quite nice as well. Potentially a 9-point play. If Olaf survives, that's also great news. But, looks like he's going to get locked. That's not the end of the world. We're going to take our Cleaver value now. Still on the back row. Canute now does become kind of weak, and it is a little bit risky playing him with the, you know, in this deck now that Gregoire and the shield interaction with Canute did get nerfed, but it is what it is. Not the end of the world necessarily. Okay, Asaya going to come down. Yeah, we might be in a little bit of trouble here. Let's probably just damage the Asaya a little bit so that we, you know, can get Bloodthirst on Jenge or whatever, save our Arnjolf for as late as possible. We'd have to buff twice with the Morvan to, you know, disable Bloodthirst. That might have been an Ulfheden target, but I'm sure there'll be another kind of sizable unit at some point. And there we go, that's a Jenge lock. We can probably take that here. A little bit risky, but, you know, we can kill an Enforcer with Donar even if they buff it, so... I think I'm going to do this, play around Lacerate. I mean, more than likely they either have Spies into the front row to get value on this, or Lacerate to punish the back, so... This makes us a little bit balanced, and hopefully not too vulnerable to either of those options. They are going to go Letho to get some value on this guy. I guess it's now time for our Donar and Arnjolf on that. This will be our big swing in terms of points. Hopefully we're not walking right into some kind of, you know, nasty finisher, but I think it's pretty important to maximize the points here. We still have, targets for Svanrigga and whatnot. Okay, more engines coming out. I guess that was part of the plan. Let's go with Svanrigga now, I suppose. And then Ulferdin, of course, onto maybe Ivo, Lacerate, Boom Boom, and... This might be 2 points a turn if their whole hand is Witches. We know Orcs is one card, and we know maybe Vilgefortz is the other or something. Could be, in fact, that. So, I mean, technically we might be missing a point. Nah, it's 3. We gain 3 either way, right? So we should hit this, I think. We're gaining 3 on both of these, and this will kill this with the Lacerate, so... We might gain some extra value if their last card is also a Witcher. I mean, they would probably buff this up if they were scared of a Lacerate, so... Whatever, pretty decent Lacerate. Will they have enough points? They don't need that many. If it is a Vilgefortz Tibor play, then I think we lose. But, nope. Just a Peter. Not going to be enough. Maybe they didn't hit their combo, and that would have been a lot of points for them, but who knows. Anyway, let's jump into another game and see if we can win again. And on to the next opponent, going to be a Harald. Let's see what they're up to. Maybe even no unit deck. I've seen quite a few of them already this patch, which I can't say I'm too happy about, but that probably doesn't surprise you too much. Anyway, what should we be going with here? Shield Maiden's fine. We've got the discard guys, but no burner, which is a bit annoying. Let's get rid of one Brawler. There is the burner. That makes his hand so much better, so let's hold on to it and not mulligan those discard targets. Bit of an inconsistent card to be running with these discards, but when it works out, it's really, really good, I think, so I'm not too sad about playing it. And it looks like it is going to be no units. We do have the red coin, which is something, I suppose. But, you know, we'll see how this goes. Gonna have the, you know, Marauder. Not really great here, unless they start playing some actual stuff. Which I wouldn't expect, but, you know, we'll see. Gonna be all sorts of nasty things like weather and, yeah, just dangerous stuff. So we're gonna have to definitely bleed, I think. Although, okay, that is a unit. I still think it probably is no units, but whatever. Let's go with the Marauder. It can't be that bad for us here. I mean, that's pretty bad, but... not the end of the world. At least we get the Shield Maidens out, and now free up our thinning with Burner. We kind of deny the totem procking, I suppose. It's not the end of the world. But, yeah, we'll have to go with that thinning, and definitely going to try to bleed a Harald here, I think. It's just such a scary one to go to a long round against, especially when they're already running a circle. That's like... And I mean, here come the bombs and whatnot, right? So, yeah, we need to be a bit worried about that. Let's go with Burner now, then.
We shall do it my way.
Split up our rows a little bit to be safe. And, of course, we'll get rid of our discardy boys. Potentially we'll play Harald this turn. I don't know. We want to maybe get rid of our damage while we can, while there are units on the board. So playing something like Donar and Ravager might be a good idea here. I guess we can go Ravager. Yeah, I mean, we're probably not going to get the Donar full value anyway. We'll see. Ravager, we're kind of okay to play as a 4, I think. There are units, so this might not be like a full no-unit deck. Maybe they want to pretend to be a unit deck in the first round, and then that's how they get you in the long round, right? But who knows. Alright, so what do we have here? We probably just take the Gregoire, I think, while it's active. We don't want to have that card not be usable. You know, need Arnjolf to trigger it. That's going to be kind of awkward for us. So I think we just take it. Keep pressuring here while we can. And really, I mean, all options are on the table here. If we have to play a whole hand, you know, we have to play it. That's just life, I think. If we can win on even, amazing. Probably not going to happen, but we'll see. Let's go with the Herald now then. We're going to need that pushing power definitely with the skulls and with the Canute and whatnot onto them. It's going to be really important to win the round. And yeah, if we can win the round, we can bleed, we can push any artifacts or spells that they have and hopefully be safe from that. If we don't, then Ragnar's going to really hurt, and all the other stuff. Of course, the dagger finisher or whatever they're running is also going to be painful. Very, very painful. Let's go with the Herald Power procs then, and we can now get damage units for Donar, so that's pretty nice. And we're not even forced to commit our leader. I think Ulfhedun's actually a good play here, although I guess it doesn't create a damage unit. I don't think that's a problem. There's a significant amount of points, maybe the most we're going to get in this matchup. Not, you know, not including Dago, which they might have later on, but it is what it is, I suppose. Brawler as well. You know, we can save that for the very end, should we have to, and they won't really be able to answer it. But they do have an 8 provision card popping out of the deck, which is pretty intimidating, honestly. Get to play 2 big plays in a turn, so we shouldn't really be winning on even. I mean, we might be. We have kind of engines on the board, effectively, right? And Coral going to be the one that pops down here. So they get a Coral and another play. That's pretty scary. Going to hit a skull, though, which is good for us. Very good for us, in fact. And unfortunately, that Canute-Gregoire interaction no longer works. Otherwise, that would be a great thing to kind of go with here. But looks like we're kind of just winning the round by the looks of things. Let's go with that Donar now. I like the idea of getting rid of the damage. It's not very proactive. I'm going to keep the skull around as well, just in case we want to Canute it. Get some extra value there, as we can't Canute the shield. Doesn't get us any points. And yeah, they're probably reaching their limit here. We've got Summoning Circle dead now, so they really have to be overcoming us, and we have a couple of pretty decent cards here, you know. Canute is a 9, effectively. Brawler's a 7. Not bad at all, not bad at all. We could, in fact, play Brawler here, probably. It might get answered, but then we've got Canute to win anyway, and I think that will be enough. Most of the time, we don't really need to save him either. But it's kind of nice to have later on, maybe with Olaf, if we're able to make that work. So this should work. And there is a Gregoire. I think we're safe to play the Canute here. Unless we're really unlucky and the skull pings, for example, the Fanatic, I guess. That or Gregoire. Either or would have been not enough. But I think, yeah, we've got to go for that, of course. It would have been a tie otherwise, which... Unless we hit the Fanatic, that would have been really bad. But of course we have to go for that play, right? Maybe going Canute before Brawler would have been a little bit safer. But you know what? It's all good. We win on even. We can now take a mulligan to get a good hand and push maybe the Herald, try to bleed that leader ability out of them. That's really not going to be too hot. Cleaver also not going to be the best, but... I mean, we could just take the pass, honestly. We're probably going to win when we're a card up, right? We also get more Cleaver value that way, assuming they even have units. That's the thing, right? Like, they might be very pushable here, very bleedable. Kind of hard to tell. Maybe we want to play good cards. Maybe we want to play mediocre kind of cards, like Jenge or something. I kind of like that, cool. Play a Jenge, kind of test the waters a little bit, see what their reaction is. If it's like a good card coming out, then... okay, there we go, perfect, we got a Ragnarok. We just swapped a Ragnarok for a Jenge, and I think I'm probably content to pass now. I mean, we've still got to be a little bit afraid of Dager, I suppose, but... If we play, we're kind of committed to playing a whole hand at that point, unless... I guess we could play Totem into the weather. I kind of like that. I think we push a little bit further. That Ragnarok play was really low tempo, right? So it's kind of maximum of like, what, 6 points? Probably won't like even be that much because of the stuff we've got here. So this should be good. Donar's really not great. And we can now pass and likely get both of their cards. I think we're going to do that. And their leader and the card. Especially if this is a Dager. Fair enough. Easy enough win. No unit's a bit scary, although with this deck you definitely have a good chance against them. You have a lot of proactive points. Of course, like I wasn't really a no-unit deck. I had quite a few units, but Ragnarok and all this nonsense is definitely punishing the long round, which you maybe don't want to go into all the time with this deck. Anyway, that's the deck. It's pretty decent, I think, for now. We'll see how it pans out. Obviously, it won't be the strongest, I don't imagine, when the meta fully shapes up after this patch. But yeah, it's a fun one. Give it a go if you want. Thanks a lot for watching, and do subscribe for more content. As always, I will see you guys next time.